Hi guys, it's Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher. It is video number 55 and I have a pile of stuff, probably 55 things or more to go through. We're going to do a bucket dive. I've got some stitching progress, some finishes to show you, some really great new projects that I have no business starting, but I had to. You know, when the impulse hits, right? And I have a new tool that I'm going to be playing with and I'll show you. So let's just jump right into it. I have been talking about my needle minders and the disorganization of it all. And a lot of you guys gave me some great ideas of what you do with your needle minders. But I ended up making another hoop, so now I'm up to 4 hoops. I showed you 3 hoops that I keep my needle minders on. Just use jean material from the old pair of pants, stretch it onto, I think it was an 8-inch hoop. And then I hang up those hoops on one of my doors and put the needle minders on it. So now I'm up to 4 hoops, and unfortunately, I think I need 5 because I did go ahead and take the pile of needle minders in waiting, made those into needle minders. So now I have an additional, I think I counted them. I think it's 8 or 12. It's a lot. And there's more downstairs. I love them and I like to match them up to what I'm stitching. So if I'm stitching a Christmas one, I'll put a Christmas needle minder on it, etc. But I've also been talking about what's here at my left elbow is a pile of things that I have finished stitching. And I just can't get motivated to fully finish them, either make them into pillows, finish up the bookmarks, do some framing. I've started. I went through the pile to organize it, which was more shocking than I thought it would be because I was like, oh, that's been there forever. I have to get busy. So I have been getting busy. I have done a cute little pillow. Now you guys might remember Christmas trees and stitching please, and this is a primrose cottage that everybody's done but me. I finally did it, and I finally made it into a cute little pillow. So all I did was cut it very close because I wanted it to be small. So this is just handheld. This will be great for one of my tiers or a dough bowl. I opted not to put the trim on it because I do have red pom-pom trim. You see they show red pom-pom trim, but my pom-pom trim was this really bright red. I didn't feel it went necessarily. I don't have a dark red, so I just opted not to put it on there. And I do like how it came out. Now on the back, because I don't use a sewing machine, I just hand sewed it. So I take the right side of this and the right side of the fabric in the back, and I put them face to face. So I'm looking at the back side of the cross stitch when I do this. And then I just stitch all the way around, complete square. Then I cut a little hole in the fabric part of it, and I pull it inside out to have a pillow form. And then I stuff it. I stitch up the little hole that I made, do a little suture, and then I just cut out a piece of felt. And I put my initials and the date on here. Now I did stitch it, but I didn't stitch it to the fabric. I just stitched it so it looks like it was stitched to the fabric. This is just glued, which is perfectly fine to do with your little pillows. So I just used some Eileen's, what is it called? Eileen's Original Tacky. Made sure I went to the edges with the glue, pressed it as good as I could, and just left it to dry. I do have a little pucker in this, but I'm okay. So that was one little finish. So excited that that is out of the pile. And then this, I know I showed it to you guys. This was a Cherry Hill Stitchery. Now, if you go to cherryhillstitchery.com, they have a lot of freebie charts. This might have been from that, or I got it on the Etsy. I don't remember. This is how long ago. This was, well, it says 2022. There goes my brain. But it's a cute little Happy Valentine's Day stitch. And I think originally I saw a picture and it was on a lighter colored fabric, but I chose a darker one because it's what I had handy. and I stitched a little piece of lace to it. I did the same thing. I put this face facing this color because the opposite of this fabric, the other side of this fabric, is like a white. So I put them face to face, stitched all the way around, cut a hole, flipped it inside out, stuffed the pillow, and I did the same thing with the back. I hid the suture after I stitched up the little hole, and I took 2 pieces of felt to cover up that area. This is stitched to the white. The red heart is stitched to the white, and then I just glued it all together. It doesn't feel stiff. It's very flexible, and it's a cute little finish. So something I can use in my decor next year since Valentine's is over. Hope you guys went into the pharmacies and the grocery stores to get those sale chocolates. Something I should do today. I feel like some chocolates. So I'm happy that I finally finished that one. And I will make a new binder to hold my Easter, Valentine's, St. Patty's Day patterns. The collection of those are beginning to grow. Unfortunately, they're scattered everywhere, so I can't find them very easily. And it's driving me a little crazy. What is the other... Ah, here it is. The other finish that I have. I'm sure I showed you guys this. This was a Prairie Schooler bookmark. It doesn't have a date on it. I do remember that my friend Spools, Lori, gave it to me. She had an extra, and I was like, well, by any chance, do you want to part with one of your extras? So I did stitch that up, and it sat in this pile forever. I had originally stitched it on a very long strip, and this is just a strip piece of Lugana that I cut off an edge of something, and I kept it because I knew I would do a bookmark, because I do bookmarks. So what I did was, with that longer strip of Lugana, I folded it over, creased it, so I just stitched the 2 pieces together, and then I carefully frayed all edges. Not a lot, because it will fray naturally over the years. So it's not a bad thickness. It's still quite thin enough for a book, but I just love how that came out. And there's no name on this book, or this bookmark design. It just says bookmark was stitched, blah, blah, blah. The Prairie Schooler. See our new book. So it's a free chart that they usually give or gifted before they released a chart. It was to advertise something coming up in a series. Sometimes you would get these at the checkout counter. Not no more. But it's really cute. So that'll go downstairs in my collection. I love having a handmade bookmark. And I did sign it. I'm so excited. Look, I hid my initials and the year, which is hard to do. Sometimes I think it distracts from something so small, but it didn't on that one. Yay! I am also working on, I think I showed you guys that I bought that sealer stuff for the diamond dot ornaments, and I was playing with it. So it's really liquidy, but I put some on the Valentine diamond dots. It doesn't feel sticky. And I did 2 coats, and in between 2 coats I let it dry for about an hour. And when I put it on, it was thick enough that it was almost white as I was brushing it on with a brush. And it came out fine. So now I'm trying to work on framing the big diamond dot that I did. It was a full coverage, because I've only done 2 big ones. I don't think I'll do another one. I like these small ones. So I need to cover the full one with that sealer. And it did keep the shine. Apparently, a couple of you have told me if you buy the sealant for these, you have to make sure that you get one that says high shine or shine. It won't dull it out. But this is still very shiny. So I've done all 3 of these. They are sealed. And I signed the back of one of them. So I can put these away in my little collection now. Concentrate on sealing the big one and getting that framed. Been working on the frame I got from Goodwill, cleaning that up. So that should go in another little pile. I also finished my little tombstones. Last year I had done a whole bunch of Prairie Schooler ornament shapes that I wanted to use for my Halloween tree. And I finished the back of those with some wool applique stuff. Really nice stuff. But I had two in those stitches that were done on a gray fabric, obvious tombstone shapes. And I wanted to get them done as tombstones for my Halloween house. So I have. So I just did it on a piece of styrofoam because I thought that would look a little rock or granite-like. And I wrapped the cross stitch around a cardboard shape. So I cut a piece of cardboard and just kept copying that until it was 3 layers thick because I wanted it to be a certain thickness. Wrapped it not too prettily. It's kind of like a wrap tuck. Nobody's going to look at the back. I didn't even paint the bottom of the styrofoam. But then you can see I stuck pins just to hold it all together. And before I pinned it, I added a little glue, so it's going to stay. So now these are ready to be packed away with the Halloween house. And when I decorate this year, these guys will sit out front with some pumpkins probably. I think this is really cute the way they came out. Happy, happy. That was fun. Oh, Wata. We're expecting snow tonight, which would be nice because we haven't had it in a while. So all of the snow we have is just looking dirty. Oh, I wanted to show you. I'll have to go grab one. I can just show you. The biscuits that I showed you, Santa brought me this year. Do you remember I showed you these things? And what they are embroidery hoop stands. And I think if you do a search on Amazon, you would search embroidery hoop wooden base holder. These will pop up. I think they're listed as number 4 or 5 in the list. If you notice, the grooves are different thickness or different width. Now, when I first showed these to you, I understood the bigger one, the hoop sits right in there and it stands up by itself. So it's a great way to display something that you did on an embroidery hoop on a table rather than hanging it. But I didn't understand what this narrow part was for because the embroidery hoop's too thick to fit in there. And a couple of you gave me a shout out in my comments and said, it's for flipping over the embroidery hoop, because usually we hang it up by that screw top. When you flip it over, you can stick that screw top in there to hide the actual clamp mechanism for the hoop. So then you just have the clean hoop. So if you wanted to mount something and not show that little screw, you would stick that part in there. That's how it holds. So isn't that great? I thought, wow, thank goodness I didn't know and somebody told me. So I'm going to put these away finally. I just wanted to make sure that I told you guys what the actual reason was for those thicknesses. Who knew? I didn't know. I have been doing a lot of stitching downstairs, and I have to say that I've lost my coffee table. We've done some rearranging down there, and we've got a new chair. My husband bought a new chair. So now, when we put the new chair in there, we realize we can't have this very long coffee table, which is where I pile up all of my cross stitches. So now what to do? We have a small little coffee table, which is fine. It looks great for the room. Everything's feng shui. It looks all right. But I have no place to pile up all of my cross stitches. So they've been sitting in a chair just in a pile, and I have to regroup my efforts here. But I brought up what I've been stitching on downstairs because I've been having, well, Monday was Merry Monday, and I finished that and showed you the finished stitch of that. So now I'm using the Mondays for Merry Christmas, making some cards. So I started stitching up some cards. because I didn't have any cross-stitch Christmas cards for quite a while. So what I've been doing is just taking my scrap pieces of Ada. This is a little 16 count. And I think this is a 6x6 Q-snap. And with my scraps, I went through some of my magazines. And I had this one out and tabbed. This is Christmas Cross-Stitch Favorites. It's from Christmas 2023. And it's loaded with projects. So there is sampler stitches. So I'm doing little ones like this, the little motifs. And what I had done is I had tabbed down, I think it was 4 different ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I tabbed down 4 different patterns that I was interested in. And the goal is to stitch the 4 and then figure out which one was the fastest to stitch. When I was stitching it, how did I feel about a design of a card coming into mind? And I think I figured it out. So I have stitched 4. I stitched, I'll hold it up on this. I stitched this little cutie. Now I see this on a solid colored card with some washi tape coming down the side. Very simple, very elegant. This is more whimsical. That's a cute little fox. And that'll be not an elegant one, but a whimsical little card. Then this one wasn't too tricky to do. It was very easy. That just says Merry Christmas. I can change up the colors. So I might do a red house so I can mount it on a green card or a gold card. But the blue's nice also. That didn't take long at all. This one took longest to do. And I don't think I'll be doing this as a card in mass quantities. But it's a cute little traditional. I'll probably just do this one card. So this I will replicate. I'll probably make 4 or 5 more of those. The fox I'll replicate. I'll probably do 4 or 5 more of those. And these, I can probably whip out 10 of these in about maybe 3 hours. It's a really quick stitch. So that's how I test the waters to find out what's going to be fast and what I want to duplicate. And as I'm stitching, is it going to be something that I can visualize as a card? So I have this little bag, project bag, that I got from Teresa at the Crafty Grimalkin. She did this a couple of years ago. I don't think she has this pattern available anymore, this fabric. I absolutely love this. Pretty sure this was Teresa. Yeah, it must have been, because I have the matching little mini zip. And I will keep all that together. It goes downstairs, but not on my coffee table. I think I'll have to have a different type of bucket down there. This will be the reason why I get away with having a bucket of whips in the laundry room. Okay, that'll be why. That'll be my reason to get away with that. So that's something I've been working on. Flea Market Flowers. This is the Lori Holt. I had to show you my progress. I'll do this every 2 weeks, so you're not looking at it every week. But it's not, I can't say this is a fun stitch. There's lots of parts to it. I thought it would go a lot faster. It's not. It's slow. And now I'm faced with one of the, it is the biggest, it's the biggest part. So I have to do the biggest part now. That's due for this Friday, which is tomorrow. And I'm not going to be able to do it in a day, so I'll probably have to carry it over into the weekend. But it's coming. It's coming. 18 count I'm doing it on, over 2, with 2 threads over 1. Ay, ay, ay. It's a big one. I'll be glad to see that second row or that second column done, because then I'll feel like I'm really getting someplace with it. And then I'll be feeling like I can start yet another project. I really want to finish the little card ideas I have to at least get them somewhere up here in an area that I can start putting them together and show you the cards when they're done. Tuesday is Turkey Tuesday, so I've been working on my Not Forgotten Farm turkey. Oh, I brought up a pattern I didn't think I brought up. He looks like a turkey. It's so exciting. Thomas looks like a turkey. So now I put his tail feathers on, and then it should be a really quick stitch. I'll try to put up a picture here so you can see what it's going to look like finished. Once I get those tail feathers on, I think it'll be pretty quick. That was a lot of stitching of that body. That was a lot of one color-ish. I made a mistake. I even brought up the bag of threads for him. Can't lose any of this stuff. I brought up some things that I bought on Etsy. Yeah, I can show these. Oh, there's a lot. I have no business buying charts. I know. So this is Candy Cane Lane by Plum Pudding Needle Art. I bought 3 charts on Etsy from this shop called Plum Pudding Needle Art. They were very simple. They looked really fun to do and quick. Candy Cane Lane. I love that. And depending on what I do it on, the stitch count's only 101 by 101. So that would be really sweet done. So if you do it on a 14 or a 28 count, it's only going to be about 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. So I might play with that on my stitch calculator to see what size I want it. And then I bought something called Emma's Garden on Plum Pudding Needle Art. Now I saw this with a beautiful variegated red. Again, that doesn't look challenging. It doesn't look time consuming. And I think I really enjoy stitching that. And that count somewhere in here. That count is 111 by 154. They use Gentle Art sampler threads. I think I'll just pick one of my favorite variegated reds. They use cranberry, 3 skeins of it. Now they did it on a 14 count tea-stained Ada. I might do that on an oatmeal. This was actually done in 2006. I should put that in my pile of stitches to do. And then, to see if I can do this. Oh, maybe I'll fold it. This was called Holiday Samplings. This was also by Plum Pudding Needle Art. And I just love these for a dough bowl. I love red work. But I think I could do this in a variegated green. I can do this in the red and the red. I could do this with golds and reds. And I think that would look cute in a dough bowl. Or a tier. So Plum Pudding Needle Art, if you guys are interested in getting into trouble today. Yeah, aren't we all? I have not kitted up those Easter ones that I showed you last video. but I will. I also got in some Happy Mail. Hirschner's, maybe some of you get the catalog, but Hirschners.com, I'll spell it out here. They had a sale. It was 33-cent shipping or something crazy, 13-cent shipping. If your order was $35 or more, not a problem. So I went to their sale items and I found a kit that I have been drooling over for quite some time. Then I added some sale fabric and I just made that deal. So it made it worthwhile for me. This is a Thea Governor, and this is their honeybee. They have a bumblebee and they have a honeybee. So now I'm hot after the bumblebee. But I love this cross stitch. I think originally they wanted something like $40-something for the kit. I'm not going to pay that. I've got enough stuff not to pay something like that. So this was half price. And I thought that was worth it because now I can enjoy doing it. It's a beautiful kit. I want to say it's from Holland. Made in the Netherlands. And it comes with everything you need, and the floss is sorted, so I'm extremely excited about that. And I'm ready to kit that up, but I think I'll wait to see if I can hunt for this. See the fat little bumblebee? So when I have the honeybee and the bumblebee, I think I'll start doing these side by side. I might even do like a long framed stitch with both of them. So that was exciting to come across. That might have to go into a bucket for a while, and I'll just write it down as things to be done. I should pull up my list and see how far off track I've gotten. I want to show you also the gadget that was gifted to me. Oh yeah, I have the wolf stitch. How do I always almost forget that? There's a little pile over here that I almost forgot about. I almost forgot to show you guys the wolves. So this is the dimensions kit that I've been working on for those of you who might be just catching this video by random. I am doing Wolf Wednesdays. I took it off the Q-snap frame. I've resized the Q-snap, so I might put it back on there. But this is now my progress for this top corner. I'm almost done with this corner. It's interesting because the chart shows that there's a lot more to stitch, but you can see my last few weeks of work compared to now. So it's making progress. I'm getting there. I can't believe I almost forgot to show you guys. So that's my progress. I should say too that I've put that on the wolf on scroll frame because it was just getting really tricky when I was working on the Q-snap to work way up in a corner. So I took it off the Q-snap, I've resized it. I don't know if it's the right size right now. So I'll work on it until I finish that corner, and then I will probably move it from the scroll frame back to its Q-snap so I can complete some of the rest of the works. But I am pretty happy with the progression of it. And stay tuned for more. I'll show it like every 2 weeks as I work on it. Thanks, you guys. I showed you guys a kit that my dad had been working on, and I wanted to find how to match up the threads because I can't find the threads. And I was able to do that because this is a dimensions. Am I right about that? I don't want to mislead you. Yes, it's a 2011 dimensions kit. I don't know what the title of this chart is. Live life in the moment. And he was so close to being done. So I did find a great little scroll to put it on, and I have matched up the threads that I need. He has, it appears from just a quick study of the graph, he has done everything from here up to the top. So I just have this last block to backstitch, and it looks like all the cross stitching was fully done. And then I can pull it off and figure out how to frame it. This is going to be such a relief to do because I have so many projects of his that are almost done that I need to get working on. It takes a lot of emotional energy to actually do it. I need to put that in a safe spot. But in order to match up those threads, I have the key, I have the chart, I just can't seem to find where the threads are that he had. So I went on to cyberstitchers.com. I've talked about this website before as a great resource. And you can go on to there and they have tools, I think stitching tools is how they categorize it. And when you click on that, it'll have floss conversion tables or floss conversion charts. And it'll give you certain kits that you can find out if you've run out of a thread or something. So they have Busilla, they have dimensions. And when you click on that, you can get their dimension code off of your chart and convert it into DMC. And it's really a good matchup. Don't panic that sometimes they give you 2 DMC numbers because you just have different variations of a lot number that they use. So you'll take those 2 DMCs to match it up with the existing thread that you have, and you decide what's the best color. When you do that, make sure you do it in daylight or several types of light. Don't just do it in the dark if you're stitching at night. Make sure you do it in different lights to pair it up. I've made that mistake before, and you're like, wow, this doesn't look right. That's why. Oh, we have to do that too. I have another project. I know. I think it was my first video. I came on with a sweatshirt that had snowflakes up and down one sleeve, and some of the videos after that I talked about doing one with paw prints up and down. Finally, I have chosen the sweatshirt that I'm going to put paw prints on, and I'm going to start kitting this up because I wanted to start it this weekend, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to do this purple sweatshirt, and I'm going to put paw prints all up and down one arm and probably coming down one side of the front shoulder, and then on the back shoulder, maybe 3. In order to do that, I don't know how many of you have used waste canvas before, but when you want to stitch on a shirt or a sweatshirt or a t-shirt or a canvas bag for that matter, you use something called waste canvas. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out a section of waste canvas, and I think I picked a 14 count. I've got a pile of 14 count waste canvas here. So I'm going to cut out a part of the waste canvas that's going to be bigger than my cross stitch, because that's the key here. So I have a tiny little paw print. I'm going to flash it. I will count out how big those paw prints are. They're not going to be that close together. I'm going to put them sporadically all over the place. So I will take safety pins or even a dress pin, and I will pin the waste canvas to the sweatshirt material. When I stitch on and through the waste canvas onto the sweatshirt, after I'm done, then you can pull those threads out from underneath the cross stitch. I will do that with you online or in a video if you want. I love the effect. I've done a sweatshirt for my husband, who unfortunately now needs a new one since he's lost so much weight. And for him, I did a gray sweatshirt with a sextant on it. Now, a sextant is a old navigational tool used on ships to find their way. So I think I'll have to ask him what he wants for a new one. I've picked 3799, so it's going to be a muted paw print, but I wanted it to look like dirty paw prints too. I don't want brown necessarily, but I thought a gray would be nice and muted with this color purple. So I'm really excited about this project because I've been wanting to do it. It's been bopping around in my head for a while. I might need a really big bucket downstairs in the laundry room with all these whips. I'll see what I can get away with. Also, the next project, I'm so excited about this. Diane sent me some fabric, and I finally found the scroll. I am ready to go. That is my center. So I can do this. I'm going to do the Astor Place. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. This is a 32 count Lugana. Now when I stitch over 2, it'll turn it into a 16 count Ada. I don't mean to break anybody's heads with math stuff. I don't do math. I use an app to do all my calculations. And I am going to go ahead and use the 14 count perforated paper because I don't think it's going to matter that it's going to be slightly bigger when I stitch this house. The parts of this chart that are perforated paper is a flower box. I guess you would call it a flower box. This peak on the house, the wreaths, the awning, and there's one other little piece. I don't see it right now. It's not here. It's somewhere else. And then there's this tree and these people. So after I stitch the house, then I do the perforated paper stitches and place them onto the fabric. So I'm excited about this because I think it's going to really add some dimension. I haven't done this before, and I think it'll be a great effect. And I love that this is so long. This is actually a 9 by 21 inch piece of fabric. I think I'll stitch the white first. I haven't pulled the threads yet, so that's a must do soon. And I haven't pulled the paper. It'll be done on a white perforated paper. I'm so excited about that. Oh, that was loud, sorry. Oh, we're almost to the bucket dive. I also wanted to show you. Now this was gifted to me by a dear friend, Linda. Ooh. This is something that people have been talking about, and I'm sure you've seen them in other videos. This is called a dome, D-O-M-E, dome threaded needle case. And this is put out by Clover. And it is a Japanese invention or production. Genius thing too. This does lock into place. But once you open it, and there are a lot of videos on how to use these things, this is a way to keep your pre-threaded needles in one place and ready to go. So say I'm working on the Astor Place and I want to thread up a bunch of needles with white because there's a lot of white in there. Or if I'm doing an all black cross stitch project or red work, I can thread 10 needles up and have them ready to go and just grab them off of this and stitch. It's pretty easy to load, but I haven't done it yet, but I've seen probably 3 videos now. So you would look up Clover Dome Threaded Needle Case on YouTube, or Dome Threaded Needle on YouTube, and you'll get a bunch of different videos on how to do this. I've got my needles ready, And when you load it up, you have to have a certain length too. Don't make it any longer than I think 30 inches. And don't put knots in your thread. Once you do that, you stick the needle in the little slot. You anchor the thread. And then you start winding the thread up. And you pull them out in order. And they are numbered on this little blue thing, which I don't think you can see in the video. If you have a moment of, oops, I grabbed the wrong needle, I've got a knot in here, I have to untangle this mess. This is the emergency button. This little slot, take a coin to it. It tells you which direction to open it. It takes the whole thing apart. You can dump out your mess, fix your problem, start all over again. The top of this has little lips in the plastic, so you can twist it shut and you can travel with this. I think this is genius. I can't wait to start using it. Thank you so much, Linda. I'm really excited about it. And I'd have to commit. I'm like, oh, do I use it for this or do I use it for that? So I don't know what I'm going to load it with yet. It might be for the Astor Place, but there's a couple of other things in the wings. I could load it with different colored floss, yeah, but then I would have to have a chart or a code next to it. I could probably tape it on the back as to what numbers are what colors. But I haven't gotten that far yet or that complicated with it. So Clover Dome Threaded Needle Case. If you're still on the fence about it, just go look up some of the videos and you'll be fascinated how easy it is. Now we're going to do a bucket dive. Remember why? I am trying to find this owl chart that I know I showed you guys. And I know we've been through this bucket, but it's probably a year ago. I don't know if I've put more in it or if more's come out. It's a bucket. It's probably not as full as one would think. I have to figure out how we're going to do this. I'm just going to make a mess today and be done with it. So this pile is the last place I've looked for this owl. And I hope it's in here because I don't know what's going to happen if I can't find it in this pile. If I don't find it in this pile, my craft room's going to be a mess. Shiny Suns cross stitching. These are full coverage that I really need to get started on because it's probably going to take me, I don't know, 100 years to finish all of them. Isn't that beautiful? I love chickadees. And it's not too thick. It doesn't look like this is an encyclopedia chart. Ooh, imagine this, another wolf. Shiny Suns cross stitch. I love that. Young wolf contemplation. This one's a little thicker. I wonder how many colors is in there. We're not going to do that today. It's probably got 100 colors. I don't want to know. I have Coming to America in here still. I so need to start this. Someday. That's really cool. Ursula Michaels, Let's Make Memories. My dad would have liked that one. I have a friend, though, that would really like that, so maybe I'll do it for her. This is a Diane Authors. It's just called Rooster. This is a complete kit, and I really love the colors in this. It doesn't look very complicated. I think I'd enjoy doing that. Those are carrots and radishes, I guess, around his feet. At first glance, it looked like cacti, and I'm like, I don't want to do cacti, but no, that's really cute. Found it! I knew this would happen. Okay, this is what I've been searching for. Doodle Craft Design. Doodle Craft Design, Blackwork Owl. I'm so happy to find this, you guys. Is this the part where I say, okay, we're not doing the bucket dive anymore, I gotta go. Now we'll keep going through the bucket. But I have been searching for this. I really wanted to start this ever since we brought home that wood carving owl. I can't stop thinking about this chart. And for the life of me, I didn't know where it was. Oh, that's gonna be a lot of work. So this was done on an 18 count Aida. Listen to this. It is 20 by 15 inches. Stitch count, 364 by 262. I can do it. It's just going to be a lot of. I am so excited I found this, you guys. Doodle Craft Design. It has a, I don't know what address this is. It looks like it's from out of the country. But I had to have it. It's got 24 different colors in it. Look at the wings. So it's all black work. If I tackle this in sections, I'll be fine until the border. And then I'll start feeling faint, I'm sure. That border is going to be murder. So excited. I get to bring this downstairs and show my hubby and say, look, I found it. And the first thing out of his mouth, I guarantee you, will be, what about the wolves? Yeah. Okay, also in this bucket, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's 12 flowers. It looks like it might be Italian or French. I wouldn't know. But I think I'll stitch these with English months underneath. I know those are the months underneath the flowers. The other thing that's really cute is I could turn these into bookmarks so easily. I think that would be really sweet to do. I have part of a magazine in here from Cross Stitch and Needlework. I had my heart set on doing Delicate Daisy. I was going to do this as a pillow because I just loved how that looked. Also picked out the fabric. This is a 28 count ice blue Lugana. I have to decide whether I'm going to commit or not. Oh, give it a shake. Oh, that's where this one is. Heart and Hand seasonal etchings. Those are really cute. These would make great little pillows if you did them individually. I wonder if I should pull that out. I shouldn't. I get myself into trouble going through these buckets. These are, you know, the things you get at the end cap in the store with free patterns on them. Can't show that. Oh, another wolf. This one is called Sandra's Stitch Stash. This is a full coverage. Maybe it's not a full coverage. It's called The Wolf. Absolutely beautiful. Is this a signed copy? I don't know. I don't know who that signature is. But it's absolutely gorgeous. I wonder how many colors are in here. They did it on 18 Aida. It is 212 by 269 stitches. That's really pretty. So if I did it on 18 count would be 18 by 21. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to do that one next. After my other wolf. Oh, this one's so cute. I don't know how to pronounce this. I can't show you this because I'm going to do it for a friend. Sorry. Here's another Valentine. This does not belong in here. And I can't show it to you because it is a black and white chart that doesn't, I got a freebie. Bent Creek Plum Berry Sampler. I love this little guy. I have been meaning to do this because I have these little buttons. They're square buttons. And I don't know if I have that color button, so I need to do a floss toss with buttons and see what that looks like. That would be so much fun and so quick to do. I really need to look at that. I'm not going to, though. I have to behave and finish what I've got, finish what I've got. This is the Drawn Thread Woodland Walk. Boy, that picture doesn't do it justice. Ugh, what a washed out photo on there. They used embroidery floss, DMC, so it's DMC on all throughout. Oh no, they did use a couple of weeks dyes. I should consider looking at this. It looks like it's got some specialty stitches in it. Maybe not. Gosh, that photograph is bad. Oh, this is a cute booklet, guys. This is from Paragon Needlecraft from 1979. Wow. Gnomes. Designs and cross stitch. So this is just a bunch of gnomes. Aren't those cute? To gnome me is to love me. Gnome, sweet gnome. There's no place like gnome. That's really cute. Firewing Designs. This is from 2016. Sorry for the glare, but I'm not going to sit here and rip out all these packages. Or rip open. It'll be just painful to our ears. Fire Designs also. This is called Hidden. And of course there is a wolf in the grass. Or a coyote. A dog of sorts. I love how versatile this pattern is. Because it's amazing on all kinds of different fabric backings. Yes, I found my Glendon place. Cam, check this out. This is called part of Amazing Desserts collection. Is it 2 S's? It's 2 S's. My brain's doing funny things. So this is called Grasshopper Pie. I love the greens in this. And it looks like, almost looks like there's sequins on it, but I know it's just beads. So this is going to be something that's going to be time consuming to kit up because I need to make sure I can pull out all the beads that I have. It calls for 4 different Mill Hill beads and a bunch of dinky dyes. And I will no doubt convert the dinkies into DMCs because I don't feel like hunting for dinky dyes online. Unless you guys know of a great place I can go shopping. I don't know if I'll ever do this. There's some really cute ones in here, though. This is a very thick booklet called Teddy Bears and Cross Stitch. Over 30 different designs in here. And I'm pretty sure it's out of print. I have some things tabbed, though. These are cards. These are the cutest cards. I think I wanted to do the little bear for St. Patty's Day and maybe the Valentine one. So that was my first tab. Yep, more cards. Very cute. Teddy Bears and Cross Stitch. Who's the author? I don't see an author. It says D and C. David and Charles. So D and C. David and Charles. Teddy Bears and Cross Stitch. This is Orenco Originals for the Artful Needleworker, 2007. OrencoOriginals.com. Art Nuevo, 2 cranes. I love that pattern. This is a pretty thick chart pack, so it's a little concerning. It doesn't say how many. It's got 280 stitches by 112. It doesn't say how many floss colors on the front cover, but it does say it's DMC. So that's something I'll do. Crosswing Collection, Alpha Birds. Oh, I have 2 in here, and then I have another crosswing. So this is the whole alphabet in birds. I think that's really cool. Alpha Birds. And then on the back, I have First Encounter. This is number 8, a number crosswing collection. And I love those chickadees. I have got to pull those out and do them. I have another crosswing collection that I did, and it's up at camp. For the life of me, I can't see what birds they are in my head. I have to take a picture of that and show you guys. I have a long dog in here. Heir Apparent. Maybe I'll use my dome for that. That would be a great Easter stitch. God, that would be fun. And I have some magazines. Oh, this one's really cool. The Imposter by Simply Heritage. I've been looking for this chart, so now I know where it is. I'll forget tomorrow. So if you look in here, you can see the dog that's in amongst the cats, the Imposter. I did this chart for somebody, and now I really want it for myself, so I should do it again. Plum Street. This is Babushka's Bees. Isn't that cute? I don't think the picture does this justice because you can't even see the fence in the photo. And I'm sure the colors are more vibrant than what the actual photograph lends it to. But that would be fun to do. And I like all the little bees buzzing around. These are a bunch of magazines. I don't know if we want to go through those. Oh, Calico Crossroads. Do you guys remember these cats? Gone Fishing. That's so cute. That would be fun to do. My gosh, this one's old. How old? Old. I can't find. Oh, 97. They made a whole bunch of those. Elizabeth Needlework Designs. This is Be Green. That was from 2008. What is that stitch called? It just looks pretty. I might use some satin for that. Oh, this one. Oh, man. I'm so close to starting this one. This is the Drawn Thread, Let It Be. I love this. Now, I must have finished kitting this up. I have to look at this one again. I'm going to keep this out of the bucket because I don't know why I haven't put this on a frame. It looks like I have all the threads. So it could be that I'm missing one thread, or I ordered the thread, forgot what I ordered it for. The thread's here, kit's over there. One of those. I know you guys can relate. I love this one. This is actually an MC Escher design from 1938. Perman of Copenhagen did this. What is it called? Arrow and Aqua. They actually made it up into a cross-stitch chart. I'm fascinated by that. And I don't necessarily think I'll do it in this kind of washed out gray. I think it could be brighter. Yeah, it looks kind of, I think it would be really good in a blue. So that's going to be fun. Ah, here's the kit that, or the chart that I never did, that well, probably a lot of you did back in the 80s. Oh, excuse me, 1990s. The Holiday House. I don't think you can find this anymore, but you were supposed to do the cross stitch and then do the perforated paper door designs to attach throughout the seasons. For whatever reason, back in the day, this is probably, might have been when I was first starting, late 80s, cross-stitching. I was too intimidated by this. Or maybe I hadn't started stitching. Actually, it doesn't look like it's done on perforated paper. It's just done on fabric, and then they're attached. But I might do this now, because I think it's really cute. And I don't have to do all of their motifs, because they have things here announcing it's a boy, it's a girl, back to school. I might just do 4 seasons. Ah, this one's cool. This is Zippity Doodah. It's by Lottie Da. Now, I have seen this finished in a bunch of different ways with brighter, better colors. When I bought this chart, I went ahead and matched it to the fabric that they used. I'm not going to do it that way. So I've since changed my preference for how I'm going to start that. Yellow submarines in here. This is a blackbird design. I think this is going to be a fun one to do. I should probably make a binder just for my blackbirds. That would be helpful. Then I might remember where they all are. This is another cool kit. Oh, I remember I got this on, might have been eBay, but this is an old kit that I got from either a Floss Stash website or eBay. It is a combination of beads and cross stitch. It's Riolus. Isn't that cool? Everything's in here. So I could stop what I'm doing. And you know what? I think I have something right here. I had started doing something in the center of this. You can see it's got gookies. It's got thread boogers, as I call them. And it's a iridescent Ada. So I think that would be really cute. There we go. Put it in my pile of things to go downstairs. Pretty sure that's going to measure out fine. Oh, this one's cute. Designs by Lisa. Moose Be Love. Isn't that cute? This one deserves a good floss toss because I want to make sure the moon shows up. Again, it's one of those, photograph didn't do it justice. You know by looking at the chart that it could be a little more. Maybe it needs to be on a dirty Ada. You know, that dark khaki color or brown paper bag color to make that moon pop. But that would be fun to do. I might keep this one out to do a floss toss. I'm not going to be able to go to bed. I'll just have to stay up and stitch. I have no idea what this is, guys. It looks like it's a partially started, but not finished. I don't feel like looking at it right now. It is a rolling pin with, it looks like jam. It might be something I grabbed at a yard sale. It's a Janlin design. Made in Holland. Some other day. Oh, this is a great chart. This is from a magazine. This is Country Cross Stitch, January, February, 1990. I had picked out I think that's really cute. Orchard Friends, it's called. And that magazine was Country Cross Stitch, January, February 1990. Wow. It looks like a very simple stitch, so I think I'll do that one. Oh, there's another full coverage. We're almost to the end, guys. This is another Shiny Sun cross stitch called Summer Green. It's a red fox in the grass. So pretty. Done on an 18 count white Aida. It is 12 by 17, just under 13. So I just say 13 by 18 actually. Very pretty. Oh guys, then I have these calendars in here. Nothing's tabbed, however. Maybe I should look at those. Then I have, holy cow, this one's cool. This should not be in the bucket. This should be up in my bookcase. This is Cross Stitcher Handmade Cards, 2012 issue. Look how thick it is. It's a book. Now, back in 2012, this was $18. I don't even want to know how much it is now. But look at all the tabs. Lots of tabs. And they're marked like what they are. This page is for Mother's Day. These are different cards that I wanted to do that I have yet to do. Some of them are so intricate that I don't know why you would make it as a card. You have to be very careful who you give it to, so you know that they're going to frame it or keep it. Because if you spend that much time on a card, you really don't want it to go someplace to somebody who's going to throw it out. Or at least you shouldn't. So back to the bucket for now. This is a tabbed one. Oh, this has a great cross stitch in it. This is January 2019, The World of Cross Stitching. That's the one I have tabbed in here. Let's see. Yep. It's called Hello There. Isn't that amazing? Love the colors in this. It doesn't have to be a pillow. You can do it as a frame piece. So the next tab is the chart. And there are not many colors. I'd say there's less than 15 in here. And then on the back page, there was a little fox that I had tabbed. They just give you the chart, how to read keys, and they give you a little chart there. A lot of half stitches in that. I don't think I'll do that one. Take the tab out. But I really would like to do that black cat design. Another magazine that has cards folded down. These are quickies and fun ones. This is an issue of The World of Cross Stitching from June 2016. That's what the cover looks like. And these are just great quick cards. There's an alphabet too that I folded down or tabbed in here. Oh yeah, guys, this is hard. Before I lost my dad, from this magazine, I did this for him. And it was actually at the finishers. I don't sew. So I took it to a gal who could make it into a pillow for me. So I actually lost my dad, and then I had to go pick that up. So that was upsetting. And it was so upsetting that I've actually just kept it in a closet ever since. So I should probably pull that out of the closet and enjoy it. Emotional energy. You know, I need to get my emotional energy to do that. But I really love doing that pattern. It was a lot of fun, and it brought me a lot of joy because I was really excited to see what he thought of it, because he loved birds as much as I did. Well, more than I did, I should say. So, yeah, there was that. But I have a collection of these calendars, and I really should go through them, because on the back, it shows you what the months are and what might have been of interest. And I think I wanted to do a couple in this one. 2022, there was the December one, which is like a gingerbread house. I really like that. I think that was the only one in here. Maybe. No. There were some Halloween ones that were really cool. So that's the October. But you can't guess which one I want to do. Actually, I think I do all but the cat. I don't know why, but the cat didn't do it for me. It's like the dimensions aren't right. And then this was November. I think this one's really pretty. I think they had me at Birch Tree. So that's the keepsake calendar from 2022. And what I usually do, you know, because it comes with a separate pattern book, I worry about losing the pattern book. So I actually take these little binder clips, and now it's together. So this one is the keepsake calendar 2020. This is the last thing, you guys. Then I can go eat lunch. Let's see. Oh yeah, I showed you this. Last year I showed you this, and I still haven't done it. September. And I think a lot of you have seen this on other floss tubes, because I know some other people have done that stitch. It's really cute. December, blah, blah, blah. It's funny how your taste changes. There's some Easter eggs in here, but I'm not really feeling it. They're pretty. And usually a folk arty type design gets me, but not today. So I think September is the main one. Oh, and I know I saw somebody finish this. This was July. I'd go to that party. That's what I want to do. Yeah. So September really is what I want to tab and mark in here. So let me make sure I don't lose any of its bits and pieces. All right, I think that's going to be it for today, you guys, because I've got to go eat. I have blown up the craft room. Now I've thrown everything on the floor around my ankles. Thank you so much for finding the owl with me. I'm really excited to go downstairs with that and go, look. I'm so relieved we found it. I'm going to put everything together now, clean up my space a bit, and then finish that diamond dot thing that I want to get sealed. And hopefully I'll have that framed and I'll show it to you next video. What else can I get done before next video? We'll see. I don't know. Hope you have a great day. And I hope the sun's shining where you are. It's finally shining today. We've had nothing but gray days. And we're going to get snow tonight into tomorrow, which I absolutely can't wait for because it means the dirty snow on the side of the roads will look pretty again. I like that a lot. So happy crafting, keep stitching, and be safe.